Solar Juice Pro is the solar-powered mobile charger. That's today's review. Let's get right to it. There's two ways to charge the Solar Juice Pro. One is by plugging it into your computer, and the other is putting it in sunlight. However, even though the word solar is the first word in the product name, it says solar charging only for emergency. Please avoid prolonged exposure under the burning sun. So even though it's Solar Juice Pro, the solar part is only in case of emergency. This button is a battery capacity check, so you press that, and if there's 4 blue lights, it's 75 to 100%. 3 blue lights means it's 50 to 75%. 2 is 25 to 50%. And if only 1 lights up, then there's 5 to 25% of the power left. When it comes out of the box, it's already charged up and ready to go. Solar Juice Pro is a 5,000 mAh charging bank with 2 USB outputs. It can be charged with USB power or solar, but as you'll find out later, that solar aspect to it is kind of useless. There was another Solar Juice release a couple years ago, and this one is a Solar Juice Pro, which according to the box came out in 2016. Even though the word solar is the first word in the name of it, and it has a big solar panel on it, the instructions tell you that solar charging is for emergency only, and it can take up to 25 hours to charge it with the solar panel. Although the Solar Juice Pro was showing 4 bars when I first unboxed it, by the time I set it up to charge a phone, it was showing 3 bars. But here's what happened with that. It ran for almost 2 hours. You can see the lights are off. And it charged it from 3 to 63%. That's just out of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge this now and see how long this takes to charge. The instructions say it can take 6 to 7 hours by USB and 22 to 25 hours by solar. But I'm going to charge this up, and then I'm going to recharge another phone and see how that does. So to recap, that took an iPhone from 3% to 63%. After the full discharge, I needed to charge it up, so I wanted to use the USB port to charge it up. The instructions say it can take 6 to 7 hours to charge, but my first charge took 12 hours. Now I know some batteries take longer to charge the first time you use it. It doesn't say that in the instructions, but it did take longer the first time I charged it via USB. It was 12 hours the first time, less other times. So once it was charged, I took it for a walk with me while I was testing out the copper fit balance. All right, I'm out here doing a different review, but I figured I'd bring my Solar Juice Pro with me and see how well it works out in the field. Got my Solar Juice Pro, which took 12 hours to charge last night. The instructions say 6 to 7. It took 12 hours. But anyways, I'm going to plug in this iPhone to the Solar Juice Pro, take my little walk, and see how much it charges in about an hour. This phone's at 18%. I'm going to plug it in, see what happens. All right, it shows it charging. And the Solar Juice Pro shows full charge. iPhone is charging now. I'm going to stick it in my backpack. All right, I just got back from kind of a long walk as part of another review, but I had the Solar Juice Pro and this iPhone in my backpack the entire time. Let's see how it goes. Right now, the iPhone is at, if you can see that, about 43%. And the Solar Juice Pro still shows 4 bars. So I think that's not too bad. Once the Solar Juice Pro exhausts this charge, I'm going to see how long it takes to actually charge it in the sunlight. But what I'm afraid of is that it's so hot here in Las Vegas at the end of May that it could burn out the unit. So I'm going to probably just place it in a windowsill so it can get the sunlight without the extreme heat. And that may or may not work. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we are at half power, and it is now at 100%, and it took about 3 hours. So after I got home from my walk, the phone wasn't fully charged and the Solar Juice Pro was still almost completely full, so I finished charging it. It ended up being about 3 hours to charge that phone all the way up to full. But at that point, it still showed about half the battery left, so I went ahead and saw how much juice was left in there and continued to charge another phone. So without recharging the Solar Juice Pro, I'm going to stick it in my iPhone 7, which is at 29%, and see how far I can take that. That phone charged for about an hour from 29 to 63%, and then the Solar Juice Pro died. So in other words, on one charge, the Solar Juice Pro took one from 18% to 100%, and another phone from 29% to 63%. So now for the fun part. I was looking forward to this. I was going to charge up the Solar Juice Pro completely with solar power. It didn't go too well. The instructions say the green LED light will come on when it's charging in the sun. The only thing that happens when you put it in the sun is that a red LED light comes on. See, off, on. So I don't think that it's supposed to be green. I think it's supposed to be red. But here's the thing. This has been in the sun for roughly 6 hours today. And when I check the battery, it's as if it hasn't charged at all. That means it's dead. And it's been charging for 6 hours. I'll keep charging and see how it goes. So far, I'm thinking that this solar thing isn't going to work too much. So I was going to bring the Solar Juice Pro with us to dinner tonight, but it's still attempting to charge in the sunlight. In fact, I had it sit out in the sunlight for over 8 hours today, and it didn't even increase 1 bar of charge. I'm not real convinced that the solar aspect of it is even practical or useful at all. I had it charging all day, and it's got no juice in it, so maybe Not So Solar Juice Pro should be the name of it. But if it doesn't charge much tonight, I'm just going to charge it USB, do a few more tests, and get on with this review. And this is after charging in the sun all day long. It's still at 0. I placed the Solar Juice Pro in the sun for 8 straight hours. First, I tried it on a windowsill that's inside the house, but in direct sunlight. And I actually had to move it to a few different locations to keep it in the sun. The battery never moved. It was still a blinking blue light, which means it's basically dead. The next day, I put it directly outside in the sunlight for 4 hours. I put it on a windowsill for another 4 hours. So in all, I charged the Solar Juice Pro in direct sunlight for probably 12 to 16 hours, and it never got above a blinking blue light, which means it never even got to 25%. So the next time I charged Solar Juice Pro, it took 4 hours to charge, which is a lot better than the 12 hours it took the time before that. So now that the Solar Juice Pro was charged yet again, I wanted to see how it would charge 2 devices at the same time. So I have an iPhone 7 Plus and an iPhone 6s Plus. It took the Solar Juice Pro about 1 hour and 35 minutes to transfer all of its energy to those 2 phones. Okay, we've got 2 iPhones, iPhone 7, which is 20%, iPhone 6, 13%. Gonna plug them both in, see how long it takes to charge both of them up. Charging. This one's charging. It's 12:20 p.m. We'll see how long it takes. We got full bars on the Solar Juice Pro. Okay, it just stopped charging. This one is at 62%, and this one is at 59%. So from 62, 59. So in the end, I don't think you should really rely on the solar aspect of Solar Juice Pro. In fact, I wouldn't rely on it at all because I couldn't get it to really work. But if you charge it via USB, it'll provide enough power for a phone plus a little bit more. That's about all I would really expect from 5000 mAh. I like that it has 2 outputs. It has kind of a cool design. I mean, it's okay, but it's definitely not the only game in town. Have you used Solar Juice Pro, or another battery pack like this? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And please subscribe for more As Seen on TV product reviews from me, James White, with Freakin' Reviews.